Hi, welcome to the Design Chimp. Today I'm going to show you a quick way to apply an HDR effect to a photo that you've taken. Normally when you do HDR photos you want to do bracketed shooting by changing the aperture and exposure while taking the picture, but sometimes that's not always the case. I went to Hawaii not too long ago and I snapped a bunch of pictures, and I have some that I wanted to apply an HDR effect to in Photoshop just to bring out some of the details, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how I went about and did that today. So let me go ahead and open up my image here in Photoshop. I'm using Photoshop CS5. What I'm going to do, it should go all the way back to almost, I believe, Photoshop 7. So now that I have this image open, I'm going to go ahead and just double click on this layer to unlock it, and I'm going to leave it just named layer 0. Well, first thing that you need to do is duplicate this layer, and you can just do that by dragging the layer down here to the new layer icon, and you can see that it'll make it a layer 0 copy, or you can hold Control or Command and J will duplicate the layer, or Control, Command, and Alt or Option with the up or down arrows on the keyboard, and it'll actually duplicate. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate it again. You need a total of three layers, with the base being the original one. First thing I'm going to do is select this top layer and go up here, and we're going to apply a filter to it. I'm going to go over Other, and I'm going to select High Pass. I'm going to set my radius at 60 pixels, just because I found that's a pretty good amount. So I'm just going to go ahead and click OK. Now it kind of makes the image look a little flat, and you can see halos around some of the objects. But what I'm going to do is set the blending mode to overlay. And you can see that it has started to bring out some of the details on the rocks and a little bit in the water, but it still kind of looks pretty dark. So to bring out some of those shadows and show a little bit more detail on the second layer, I'm going to go to Image, Adjustments, and Desaturate. Now after I've done that, I'm going to go back to Image, Adjustments, and I'm going to invert. And you can see that it makes it pretty contrasty, but it makes this rock, where it normally was pretty dark, a little bit lighter, so it's going to bring out some of the detail in that darker shadowy area. And I'm going to set the blending mode to overlay again. And there you have it. Now you can see that the image has a lot of the detail brought out. The colors are very vibrant, and you get a pretty good HDR effect even though it wasn't shot. What I do now is generally I record all these steps that I made this HDR effect with, and so I can quickly apply it to future images. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm going to show you how to record these steps, and so you can apply it to all your images. So let me open up a new image here. This is another one that I taken while we were in Hawaii, and it's of a rooster. They actually have roosters all over the island. So again, we're going to do these same steps, but before we start on these steps, I want to make sure that I record my steps. So go to Window and make sure that you have Action showing. I have them over here, and it may not look like this. They may look like colorful buttons, and you just need to go in here and uncheck button mode. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is just click Create New Action, and I'm going to go ahead and click Record. Well, I'll name it HDR Effect so I know for future. And then click Record. Now that you can see that this record icon is selected, it's going to mark down and keep track of every step that I do in manipulating this image. So when I double click on this to unlock the image, you can see that it saved that as set background. And then I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this layer twice, and you can see that it's still tracking. And we'll go back up here to Filter, and the High Pass, it saved my settings from the first time around, so I'm just going to go ahead and click that. and set the blend mode to overlay. Select the next layer down, image adjustments, desaturate, image adjustments, and invert. And again, set that to overlay. Now that I have that HDR effect recorded, I'm going to go ahead and actually just click stop, so it doesn't record any more steps. And I'll show you how this works now. I'll open up another image that we took while on our trip. Here's one of a tree with some roots. Okay, so now I actually want to go back and make sure that button mode is selected, and you can see that I have that HDR effect button, and now all I have to do is click on this button, and just like that, it applies the that effect to the image. If you have any other things that you would like to see or learn about in Photoshop, leave a comment in the comments below, and you can check out more tutorials and information at thedesignchimp.com, along with these images will be available for you to download as well. Thank you and have a great day.